Good evening, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV here to bring you more live coverage of the situation with the New Orleans truck attack on Bourbon Street and also the Cybertruck explosion at the Trump Hotel in Vegas. We're going to bring you the latest updates. I slept for a few hours, so I am still a little behind here, so I am trying to catch up myself on everything. And we will be taking your comments on the air and bringing you updates. So you can write to me on X during the broadcast at Lookner on X. I want to say thanks to our moderators, Sabrina Roberts May Queen over there on YouTube, Sarah55, Cynthia Moon, and all of our other YouTube moderators. Thank you so much, RJ, Linda Belk, and Larry on X. Thank you so much for being there over there on Twitch. We have right now A Moment of Lovely, Hearsay, and Surly Dev. Thanks so much for being there. And on Facebook, K. Lowry Body. And also, hang on a second here. Margaret Riley. Sorry to our Facebook viewers. At the end of last stream, the Facebook stream ended after 8 hours. I didn't even know it ended, so I didn't restart it. And then we missed like 45 minutes on Facebook, so I'm sorry about that. I was very tired. Also, I apologize for getting a bit cranky at the end of the last stream. I was quite exhausted because I hadn't slept at all. So I kind of got a little snappy at the end of last stream. I do apologize for that. I just hadn't really slept. So I'm sorry. Not that that's an excuse, but I'm sorry. Also, thanks for your support. Jack Ball, Knox Corvus, Susan Logan, Jeffrey Singleton, Panda 3000, KM for the gift memberships, April Ta and Sylvia S over there on YouTube, and also to Farquad for subscribing on Twitch. So before we get into anything, I don't know if this is related to anything. Las Vegas police are saying that they are currently investigating a person barricaded on a bus near Fremont and Charleston Boulevard. The SWAT and crisis negotiators are on the scene. Again, I have no information that this is connected to the Cybertruck explosion earlier today at the Trump Hotel in Vegas. I just want to let you know that's going on. I have not seen any reporting that this is connected there. Okay? So that's going on. I'll let you know what's happening, but I haven't heard of any connection there yet on that. But they just posted that about 10 minutes ago. Okay, and then hang on a second here. Yeah, 8 News Now says a person barricaded himself on a bus. So, the incident was first reported as 8 News Now in Vegas says the person barricaded on a bus was first reported to officers as a person armed with a knife. So, I'll let you know what I hear about this barricaded person on a bus situation in Vegas. I have no word that that's connected to the Cybertruck explosion at the Trump Hotel earlier today. But we'll keep an eye on that. Then one of our viewers said there might be something going on in Harris County, Texas. Hang on a second here. Oh, you know what I missed? I didn't even see this. There's something I just saw which is very interesting. And I literally just saw it. I mean, I was sleeping for a few hours. Where is... I'm trying to find where the original. Holmes Librand of CNN had reported 3 hours ago. Holmes Librand claimed that federal investigators now believe the 3 men and 1 woman in the French Quarter in surveillance video were not involved in placing improvised explosive devices in New Orleans, a law enforcement official tells CNN. That happened after I went to sleep. I'd like to see some other reporting on this. Is AP still reporting that the 3 men and a woman helped place IEDs? I got to check here. Because that was a big development right when we were getting off the air. The death toll is 15. You can see death toll in New Orleans crash rises to 15, Coroner says. I want to show you what President Biden said. Where is this here? Yeah, AP said investigators have reviewed video of people placing an explosive device. Document shows investigators have reviewed video showing 3 men and a woman placing an IED in connection with the car attack, according to a Louisiana State Police bulletin. But again, Holmes Librand of CNN says federal investigators now believe the 3 men and 1 woman seen in the French Quarter in surveillance video were not involved in placing an improvised explosive devices in New Orleans. A law enforcement official tells CNN. So that's obviously a big deal either way. I don't know what to say about that. Rue the Day says so much conflicting news. Look, also remember in the press conference from earlier today that we covered in our previous stream, the authorities really were saying that said that they believe that other people were involved in this. Is it possible that that assessment could change? I don't know. Bubba says, I think he acted alone. So you never know. Maybe that assessment will be changed. I don't have an explanation for. I mean, maybe some law enforcement initially assessed that 3 men and a woman were placing an IED, and then later they changed their minds. I don't know. I don't know what's true or not right now. I'm just letting you know, though, those are those conflicting reports on this. Thank you, Miranda Stevens, Portec, MG Monkey, Gayla Standiford, and Nikolai, and Brandon Reed on YouTube, and Zeldaron and Jackball TV. Yeah, as we'll get caught up on the details, as Miranda mentioned. Reportedly, both the Cybertruck and in Vegas and the truck in the New Orleans attack were rented off the platform Turo, which is like a vehicle rental platform. Again, there has not been a link established between the two incidents yet. I want to look at, so I've read about it. I haven't even watched it myself. Biden spoke while I was sleeping, and also shortly before we came on here. Oh, SWAT team outside suspect's Houston's home. Okay. Fox News reports that a SWAT team is outside the suspect's Houston home. Okay? I just saw that right now on Fox News, and I believe that's live. I just saw that myself. Give me 1 second here. Again, Fox News says SWAT team outside suspect's Houston home. SWAT team. Oh, I have an update on that too. Hang on one moment. Yeah, Fox News, actually, one of our viewers was mentioning this. Fox News and Live Now from Fox, are they showing it? Not that at the moment. Fox News is showing a live shot in Houston. So here's an update. I have an update from KHOU. KHOU says that federal and local law enforcement have swarmed a home in North Harris County, Texas, which they believe is linked to the suspect Shamsuddin Jabbar, who was from Houston in the truck attack. Okay? And then throughout the afternoon, KHOU says they have seen FBI agents, local and federal law enforcement, including a SWAT vehicle, at this house. Oh, and then KHOU reports that the FBI said they're waiting for a federal search warrant to go inside the house. Oh, there's a statement from FBI Houston? All right, so this is going on like now. Right, this was earlier. So this, you can see this. This is from like 4 hours ago or 5 hours ago. FBI Houston and the Harris County Sheriff's Office are currently conducting law enforcement activity near the intersection of Hugh Road and Crescent Peak Drive in North Houston. Is that the same location as this thing they're talking about? Let's see here. Yes, that is the scene. Hugh Road, so this is the same thing that KHOU is talking about. We have secured a perimeter in that area and are asking people to avoid the area. FBI personnel and specialized teams will be on site for several hours. This activity is related to the morning's New Orleans attack, but due to the ongoing nature of the investigation, no further info can be provided. So that situation is still going on from what KHOU is saying. And it's at Hugh Road and Crescent Peak Drive in North Houston. Let me see if I can find that on a map. Hugh Road and Crescent Peak Drive in North Houston. See, there's Houston. It's North Houston. Hugh Road and Crescent Peak Drive. And according to KHOU, they say the scene is on Hugh Road near Crescent Peak Drive. They say the home is partially hidden behind a tall gate with sheet metal covering it. Residents say it's a people in the area say it's a rental property with multiple mobile homes around it. Some people told KHOU they didn't recognize the guy. Some people who live in the area, neighbors, people in the area. So on Hugh Road near Crescent Peak Drive, I don't know what we can see here. There is Hugh Road. There's Hugh Road. And then there's Crescent Peak Drive. And they said that the home has a tall gate in front of it. And it's near mobile homes. I don't know which home specifically they're talking about in this area. But this is the general area where they're looking at. Hugh Road. This is from Google Maps. Hugh Road near Crescent Peak Drive. That is where the authorities are at a home connected to the suspect. The white gate Is that where they are here? I have to see on, is this it like over here? I don't know. I have to maybe go back and see when Fox shows a red fence one, somebody said. When Fox shows a picture of it. There's one over here too. I don't know. Fox is not currently showing that. Some people are saying red fence. Jay-Z Gamer, our viewer, says, both trucks rented from same site, attacks on same day, both had some explosives on scenes. Crazy. Fox had a drone up showing it, one of our viewers said. I don't have a live shot of that now for you. But yes, police in Vegas say there is a barricaded person on a bus that they are dealing with. And reportedly, the initial call was a person for a person with a knife on a bus. And I don't have updates on that right now. And I have no information that's connected to anything else. But I will let you know what I hear about that. Oh, KHOU also says that WWL-TV is saying that a house in New Orleans raided by police is the suspected rental used by the truck attacker, and that authorities confiscated items including suspected explosives and or bomb-making material there. KHOU says that's what WWL-TV said. I want to show you what President Biden said and also what the Vegas police said. Patrick Russell, our viewer, says perhaps IEDs in New Orleans were a fallback plan perhaps the truck ramming was a fallback plan after the IEDs failed to explode. Yeah, we don't really know the details on these supposed IEDs and whether the devices were viable and how many of them there were, if they were viable, and what the plan was. So it's a good question, but we just don't know right now about all that. All right, what I want to do is first, because I didn't even get a chance to watch it, is check this out. Kind of go over what we know and bring you the latest updates. Okay, I'm going to play you what President Biden said. This is short. It's like 4 minutes long, I believe. So this is earlier today, and this is what President Biden said probably a couple hours ago. Oops. Okay, there's Biden. Let's just listen to what he had to say. Again, this is not long. A short while ago.
Good evening. I know I can speak for all Americans when I say our hearts are with the people of New Orleans after the despicable attack that occurred in the early hours. All the families who were killed, to all those who were injured, to all the people of New Orleans who are grieving today, I want you to know I grieve with you. Our nation grieves with you. We're going to stand with you as you mourn and as you heal in the weeks to come. I want to thank our brave first responders and law enforcement personnel who stopped the attacker in his tracks before he could kill or injure more people. And I want to thank you to everyone at the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Justice, including the...
Hang on, is that an issue with the actual video, or is that... Let me just make sure of something here. If I replay, is it going to do that again?
We're grieving today. To know.
I think that's an issue with the video from the White House feed. I might have a different video of this, but let me just keep playing it.
I grieve with you. Our nation grieves with you. We're going to stand with you as you mourn and as you heal in the weeks to come. I want to thank our brave responders and law enforcement personnel who stopped the attacker in his tracks before he could kill or injure even more people. And I want to thank you to everyone at the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Justice, including the FBI, for working non-stop to investigate this heinous act. The FBI is leading the investigation to determine what happened, why it happened, and whether there was any continuing threat to public safety. Here's what we know so far. The FBI has reported to me the killer was an American citizen, born in Texas. He served in the United States Army on active duty for many years. He also served in the Army Reserve until a few years ago. The FBI also reported to me that mere hours before the attack, he posted videos on social media indicating that he was inspired by ISIS, expressing a desire to kill. The ISIS flag was found in his vehicle, which he rented to conduct this attack. Possible explosives were found in the vehicle as well, and more explosives were found nearby. The situation is very fluid, and the investigation has a preliminary stage. And the fact is that right now, there you go. The law enforcement and intelligence community are continuing to look for any connections, associations, or co-conspirators. We have nothing additional to report at this time. The investigation is continuing to be active, and no one should jump to conclusions. I've directed my Attorney General, the FBI Director, the Secretary of Homeland Security, the head of the National Counterterrorism Center, and the intelligence community to work on this intensively until we have a full and complete information. And once we have that information, I will share that information as soon as we can confirm it. Additionally, we're tracking the explosion of a Cybertruck outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Law enforcement and the intelligence community are investigating this as well, including whether there's any possible connection with the attack in New Orleans. Thus far, there's nothing to report on that score at this time. I directed my team to make sure every resource is made available to federal, state, and local law enforcement to complete the investigation in New Orleans quickly and to make sure there's no remaining threat to the American people. And we'll support the people of New Orleans as they begin the hard work of healing. New Orleans is a place unlike any other place in the world. It's a city full of charm and joy. So many people around the world love New Orleans because of its history, its culture, and above all, its people. So I know, while this person committed a terrible assault on the city, the spirit of our New Orleans will never, never, never be defeated. It always will shine forth. We've seen that time and time again throughout its history. and I know we'll see it again in the days and weeks ahead. May God bless the people of New Orleans. May God bless our police and our first responders. May God protect our troops, and we'll keep you fully, contemporaneously informed. Thank you.
Have you spoken to President Trump? Will you visit New Orleans? Have you spoken to President Trump?
I just wanted to really quickly, there's a part about 30 seconds of this where he talks about like things like the guy made videos. What is it, right around here? Let's see.
Possible explosives were found in the vehicle as well. Hours before the attack, he posted videos on social media indicating that he was inspired by ISIS, expressing a desire to kill.
So in the hours before the attack, he posted videos on social media saying he was inspired by ISIS and expressing the desire to kill. Now, we haven't seen those videos yet publicly, but he did say that. Okay, that seems important. I don't know if we'll see those released publicly. Let me just see something here. Hold on.
Even more people. And I want to thank you to everyone for working nonstop to determine what happened, why it happened, whether there was any continuing threat to public safety. Here's what we know so far. The FBI has reported to me the killer was an American citizen, born in Texas. He served in the United States Army on active duty for many years. He also served in the Army Reserve until a few years ago. The FBI also reported to me that mere hours before the attack, he posted videos on social media indicating that he was inspired by ISIS, expressing a desire to kill. The ISIS flag was found in his vehicle, which he rented to conduct this attack. Possible explosives were found in the vehicle as well, and more explosives were found nearby. The situation is very fluid, and the investigation has a preliminary stage. And the fact is that right now, there you go. The law enforcement and intelligence community are continuing to look for any connections, associations, or co-conspirators. We have nothing additional to report at this time. The investigation is continuing to be active, and no one should jump to conclusions. I've directed my attorney.
Okay, so again, he said that that hours before the attack, the suspect had posted videos on social media saying he was inspired by ISIS and expressing a desire to kill. All right, so I wanted to just show that to you. And then I'm checking for updates here. The other thing I'm going to show to you is shortly before we came on the air, there was an update from Las Vegas police about the Cybertruck explosion at Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Truth Sleuth says, where are the supposed videos? That I don't know. He said they posted them to social media. I don't know. It could have been, one of our viewers said private. Maybe he posted them privately or for followers of his or something like that. So we haven't seen those. But, I mean, he is saying that that's what he was told. So that's something that we will keep an eye on. All right, let me see if there are updates to any of the active things we're looking at right now. You can write to me on X @Lookner. All right, let's check a couple things here. CNN, new report from CNN. CNN says law enforcement is hours away from entering home they believe is connected to the suspect, FBI says. Law enforcement is waiting on federal authorization, I guess a search warrant, to search a Houston home they believe is connected to the New Orleans attacker. A spokesperson from FBI Houston said. Okay? So, again, CNN just reported about 20 minutes ago that law enforcement is, quote, hours away from entering a home in Houston, Texas, they believe is connected to the suspect. For hours, there has been law enforcement outside that home. That's the one I believe that Fox was showing live footage of a little while ago in North Houston, but they have not gone in. So hours away from entering that home, according to CNN. Give me one moment here. There's all this stuff I want to check out. Just give me a moment. There's a lot to catch up on. A lot of different reporting, a lot of different reports coming out. The Washington Post reports that the suspect in the attack in New Orleans had worked in a staff-level role since being hired in 2021 for consulting firm Deloitte. Also, Washington Post says the attacker... Oh, there's an interesting report I wanted to mention about this. The Washington Post says the attacker divorced his wife in recent years. He was married from 2017 to 2020, and they had a son. Actually, they filed for divorce in 2020, then they dropped the case, then he filed for divorce in 2021. And then got a divorce in 2022. And the New York Times said something. They had a report that yes, hold on a second. The Times said that, where is it here? Yes. So the Times earlier today, about 5 hours ago, the New York Times said that, federal agents were at the home of the New Orleans truck attack suspect's ex-wife in northern Houston. And her new husband, his ex-wife's new husband, said that that the suspect had begun to convert to Islam and within the last year was, quote, being all crazy. Again, the new husband of the New Orleans truck attack suspect's ex-wife said the suspect had converted to Islam and in the last year was being all crazy. So that got reported as well. I haven't heard any update about the person barricaded on a bus in Las Vegas. Oh, the playoff game tomorrow is, I didn't hear this. The Sugar Bowl is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time, said the Sugar Bowl. So the game that was supposed to be tonight in New Orleans is going to be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time. And I just saw that. I know some of you probably knew that. Yeah, I don't have an update about the situation in Vegas with the person on a barricaded on a bus. Oh, also one of our viewers mentioned that Fox News, our viewer Truth No Cigar said, Truth No Cigar Sherry said Fox News on their site is showing a camera showing authorities outside a home in Houston connected to the suspect. And you can see like a fence there. We were trying to figure out on the map which house it was. So there's a chain fence and then there's another fence. I don't even know if I can figure out. I showed you the area where that was. I don't want to spend a lot of time. But there's a chain fence and another fence. I don't even know if I can figure out where this is. I don't know. Somewhere here. Is this it? I don't know. There's a chain fence there. This is Hugh Road. It's in this area because it's Hugh Road near this street right here. Oh, is this the fence? Somewhere I don't even know. There's a wooden fence in the shot on Fox. There's a wooden fence. Is it maybe in this area or something? I don't know. If you go to Fox News, you can pull up a live shot on Fox News where they show a wooden fence and some houses and some trucks. And there's like a parking lot. But I can't like really quickly say exactly. I mean, is it here? Oh, maybe it's here. Are the people on Fox News, are they like here? Maybe they're in this parking lot right here. Because that's Hugh Road and that's Crescent Peak Drive. Maybe that's where the camera is, right here. Can I go in there? No, I can't go in there. Is that the angle right there? New York Times has pictures of the house. I think that might be it anyway. I'm not sure. I can't find the pictures on the New York Times of that house there. Anyways, I was just trying to give you a CBC just ran a video of it. Yeah, you can send it to me on X or whatever. But that's the general area. I don't want to spend an hour geolocating that house. Nicole, our viewer, said if you watch drone video of someone outside the house, you can tell which house it is. It's the bigger home behind the red-black fence. Anyways, oh, you know what? Oh, that's a different... Yeah, Blue had mentioned there was a video floating around before of somebody with their hands up outside the home. That was when I was asleep. Anyways, I'm not going to linger on that right now. Yeah, it's not really worth spending tons of time on, I think, at the moment. But you can go to Fox News website and they actually have a live camera outside the house. Yeah, JJ Jack sent me a video talking about it too from Fox 26. Anyways. Hey, a quick thanks to Mateen Nasiri. Do I think that, Mateen, I've heard nothing to suggest that the German Christmas market attack is connected to these events. I mean, yeah, there's no reporting it right now suggesting those are connected. In any kind of in theory, you could have some sort of connection, which is like a general motivation or something for a cause, but there's no reporting that there's any kind of operational connection between them or anything. Yeah. Now, CivLab says copycat. Could that have happened? No idea. Thank you, Eddie V. Jacob Hannikin. Jacob says the Cybertruck. Jacob believes both vehicles today are full electric because the F-150 is. I've heard some unconfirmed reports that the truck was an electric truck in Houston, not in Houston, in New Orleans, but I haven't seen that confirmed. I don't know if there's a big reason for that or not. Again, it has not been reported that the two cases are connected at this point. Investigators are looking into whether there's a connection between the Cybertruck explosion and the New Orleans truck attack, but we haven't heard any kind of, I haven't heard any kind of reporting I would consider reliable that they are connected. No connection. I think authorities have said they haven't found a connection so far. But we'll have to see. Thanks, Water Cascade, Jersey, Texas, Captain Jerry Donnelly, who says Cybertruck cargo bed built like a tank. We're going to talk about the Cybertruck incident in a second. And thanks to our moderators who are here. We have Sarah 55, Roberts May Queen. We probably should talk about the Cybertruck incident next. Beth Mythical, RJ, Sabrina, Misunderstood. They're all there moderating on YouTube. Thank you very much. Linda Belk and Larry on X, on Twitch. A Moment of Lovely, Big Ball of Yarn. David Green here say, I got that fire. McBritches, Sarah and Surly Dev, thank you. Also on Twitch, thanks to Screeching Bottle Rocket for subscribing, Mudmore for subscribing, Jazzy Renee for subscribing, DeBears for subscribing, and Jeff1202 for subscribing, Massachusetts Guy, Valorant for the gift sub, Jen Junkie for the gift sub. Sorry, I'm very behind on Twitch. Night Owl for your support, Real Change for your support on Twitch, Valor2 on Twitch for subscribing, Beautiful Profanity, and Barker J. Roar for subscribing as well, and Farquad. And over there on Facebook, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley moderating. Thanks, Eve Richards, for subscribing too on Facebook. Bud Green is moderating, Ronald Egnor. Thanks to all of our moderators. Okay, let me just check a couple of things. Do I have the statement from them? There's a statement being put out by Turo, the car rental company, that reportedly both vehicles were rented via the Turo service. NBC News says the car sharing company Turo said it's heartbroken by what happened in these incidents in which rental vehicles were used, and said we are actively partnering with law enforcement authorities as they investigate both incidents. Also, according to NBC News, Turo says we do not believe that either renter involved in the Las Vegas and New Orleans attacks had a criminal background that would have identified them as a security threat. One time, a couple years ago, I rented, when I was visiting a different city, I rented a car using Turo and it was fine. That's my personal experience with it. Thanks, Max Rommel, NE14ABJ, Marin Gobra, HomeAwares, Sela on YouTube, Beautiful Messy Ball, Zach A. Yeah, a number of our viewers are talking about the Cybertruck explosion. We haven't talked about that much. I think what we should do is, shortly before we came on the air, the Las Vegas police gave an update about that. So that's the latest I've heard on that. I think we should check what they had to say right here. I'm going to show you it's not that long. Let's watch what the Las Vegas police had to say about the Cybertruck explosion. Okay, this is the Las Vegas police shortly before we came on the air for this stream. They show some video in here too. All right, we're going to play this right now. Here we go.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Kevin McMahill. I'm the sheriff of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. I'm here to give you really a brief update on what occurred on Las Vegas Boulevard this morning. As you know, we just had our New Year's Eve event where we successfully protected the city, where over 400,000 people were here last night. And that changed this morning at about 8:40 when a 2024 Tesla Cybertruck pulled into the area valet of the Trump International Hotel. Very quickly thereafter that, the driver, who was the sole occupant of the truck, we saw what looked like maybe some sort of smoke, and then the truck exploded. Smoke was coming from inside of the truck after we noticed the flash and the explosion, and I'm going to show you that first video. That's the Cybertruck parked right in front of the doors. Can you play that again, Carlos?
Wow.
So the individual that was in that truck is obviously deceased, still in the truck as we speak here today. Our fire department folks, Engine 12, a number of others, you'll hear from one of the fire chiefs here in just a moment, arrived very quickly along with my officers. And obviously we knew that we had a much larger event than just a vehicle fire. And so there's going to be a drone video that plays to my left again. You'll see as the fire initially, they covered it with the tarp to try to get it to go out. Once the fire went out through the suppression efforts of the fire department, you'll see some of the evidence in the back of the vehicle. So those are gasoline canisters. They are camp fuel canisters and large firework mortars. What I also would like you to pay attention to on that video, as you see that, it looks like the exterior of that truck is completely intact as it sits there. The fact that this was a Cybertruck really limited the damage that occurred inside of the valet, because it had most of the blast go up through the truck and out. In fact, if you look on that video, you'll see that the front glass doors at the Trump Hotel were not even broken by that blast, which they were parked directly in front of. You can see that in the video there. What I will update, I'm very well aware that there's a name already been reported out into the media. I am not going to confirm any names to you as I sit here today because I cannot do that with 100% certainty of who the individual is. What I can tell you is we do know the truck was rented in Colorado. We were able to trace that truck through the Tesla charging stations, and it arrived here in Las Vegas this morning at about 7:30 and went up and down Las Vegas Boulevard before immediately pulling into the Trump Towers. Unfortunately, there were 7 people that reported injuries during this incident. All of them still remain as minor injuries and were treated at UMC. I would like to thank the Resorts World because, as you know, we had to close down the Trump and evacuate it, as well as the Fashion Show Mall. And the Resorts World was very gracious in taking those hundreds of individuals in over there, housing them and feeding them prior to us being able to completely clear the hotel. The hotel and Fashion Show are back open for business. The Trump will remain closed as we continue this lengthy investigation as we move forward. I'm going to yield now to Chief Billy Samuels, but I'd like you to also recognize all of our exceptional elected officials that have come to support the police and the fire department and this community in remaining safe. There is no further threat to the community.
Yeah, guys, I think there's an issue with the sound on the video. I didn't adjust the sound. I believe they had an issue with the sound and it only came out in one channel. That's on their end. Because if I play it from the beginning, see, that's fine. So they had a sound issue. It's not on my end. There's nothing I can do. I'm literally playing you the video from the police department. But you can hear it. It's just it's only coming out of one channel.
Us being able to completely clear the hotel. The hotel and Fashion Show are back open for business. The Trump will remain closed as we continue this lengthy investigation as we move forward. I'm going to yield now to Chief Billy Samuels, but I'd like you to also recognize all of our exceptional elected officials that have come to support the police and the fire department and this community in remaining safe. There is no further threat to the community as I sit here today, and I just want to make sure that our community understands we believe this to be an isolated incident, and it is now over as far as the danger. So, Billy?
Thank you, Sheriff. I'm going to reiterate some of the stuff that the Sheriff has spoken upon. Engine 12 did arrive within 4 minutes of dispatch, did extinguish the fire with assistance from the sprinkler systems, and along with that electric vehicle blanket that we use on those operations. We did encounter 7 victims, all stable. 2 of them were transported to UMC, who have since been released. They were transported by community ambulance. A total of 13 units from Clark County Fire with 26 personnel, and then 4 units and 17 personnel from Las Vegas Fire and Rescue assisted with this operation. We always do appreciate the support that we get from our hotel partners, as the Sheriff was mentioning with Resorts World. RTC did lend us 10 buses so we can refuge the people that were evacuated from the Trump Tower. Community Ambulance for their transportation for us, Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, and Nevada Division of Emergency Management. And we do appreciate their support, so we can't do that without them. And like the Sheriff said, last night was a huge success, but we are prepared for whatever comes our way. So thank you for that. And I will turn this over to Special Agent in Charge, Jeremy Schwartz.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeremy Schwartz. I'm currently the Acting Special Agent in Charge for the FBI here in Las Vegas. The FBI is currently conducting an investigation on a vehicle explosion, as the Sheriff had just shown you a little bit ago. That's being conducted through our JTTF, which is a Joint Terrorism Task Force. I want to make sure everybody understands that the task force is comprised of law enforcement officials from the entire valley here. We're not doing anything alone, and we wouldn't do anything alone without our partners making sure that we're all in lockstep. We've learned from mistakes in the past, and we're not going to do that again. We have a great relationship with our law enforcement partners, and we're going to continue to do so. As of right now, our number one goal is to ensure that we have the proper identification of the subject involved in this incident. Following that, our second objective is to determine whether this was an act of terrorism or not. I know everybody's interested in that word and trying to see if we can say, hey, this is a terrorist attack. That is our goal, and that's what we're trying to do. We have a ton of resources dedicated to this right now, and again, we're doing it with our partners, we're doing it together, jointly, and we'll continue to do so until we figure out exactly what's going on. I think most importantly, as the sheriff already mentioned, we believe this is an isolated incident. We do not believe that there's a bunch of folks out there supporting this or helping this, and we don't believe that there's any other danger to the community right now. But again, over the next few hours and days, we will continue to do our best to research that as much as we can and get to the bottom of this, and we won't stop until we're 100% certain as to what happened and why. Thank you.
So I just want to clarify again so that I don't get these questions. We do know who rented the truck. We are looking at that individual, but I am not prepared to release the name of any of the individuals that we are looking at least until next of kin is notified and we have a 100% identification. So with that, I'll take any questions you might have. I can't see. Hi, Dana.
Do you think it's a coincidence that there were these kinds of incidents on the same day, basically, in two tourism capitals?
Do I think it's a coincidence? I don't know, but what I can tell you is we're absolutely investigating any connectivity to what happened in New Orleans, as well as other attacks that have been occurring around the world. We're not ruling anything out yet, Dana.
Sure. Is there any possibility that this had a link to ISIS? There have been suggestions that the New Orleans attack might have.
Yeah, so the question is there any links to ISIS? And I will tell you that we don't have any indication of that here in Las Vegas, no overt ISIS flag as was seen in New Orleans. But again, we are investigating every aspect of this, and if that comes to light, we'll certainly update you. I'm sorry, sir.
What was the time between the truck's arrival and the explosion?
About 1 hour was the amount of time between the arrival of the truck here in Las Vegas, or at least our first notification of the arrival and the explosion that occurred at the tower.
How long were you in the porte-cochere before the explosion?
It was only there for about, it was sitting in the porte-cochere for about 15 seconds before it exploded. Was that 15? Where'd Dory go? 15 to 20 seconds. I just want to make sure I gave you the right info.
Connection of the Elon Musk, Tesla, Donald Trump connection to be interesting from an investigative perspective?
Well, I mean, it's a Tesla truck, and we know that Elon Musk is working with President-elect Trump, and it's the Trump Tower, so there's obviously things to be concerned about there, and that's something we continue to look at.
Do you need to re-examine security procedures at hotels?
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked that question. Do we need to re-examine security procedures? We were very successful in the night before. I'm surprised this happened, to be quite frank with you, and that's certainly something we're going to have to look at in target hardening, what that looks like. But to your question, Dana, I did forget to mention that I have authorized what we call an ABX roster to continue for the next 2 days, which is my New Year's Eve staffing plan of over 1,000 officers, both in our community neighborhoods as well as on the Strip and downtown, in partnership with all of the other law enforcement agencies, City of Las Vegas Marshals, North Las Vegas, Henderson, just to ensure that even if we had a copycat or somebody else wanted to go up and conduct an attack, that we have the appropriate and available resources to handle it.
Have you all found any devices inside the Cybertruck that could have been used to set off those explosives?
No, the question is, did we find any devices that would be used to set off the explosives? And the answer is no, I don't know how they were ignited. Clearly, with what you see in there, something set them off, but I don't know what it was yet. We haven't been able to process the vehicle yet.
Has LVMPD been in contact with Tesla Code to get analytics from the vehicle, cameras?
Yes, actually, I have to thank Elon Musk specifically. He gave us quite a bit of additional information in regards to how the vehicle was locked after it exploded due to the force of the nature of the force from the explosion, as well as being able to capture all of the video from the Tesla charging stations across the country, and he sent that directly to us, so I appreciate his help on that. I'll take one more question.
Elon Musk is claiming that this
I'm sorry, you got to speak up for me.
Elon Musk is saying this vehicle and the vehicle in New York were rented from the same company. Has there been any other indication that these two events might be associated?
It's another. The question is both vehicles? I'm being told New Orleans was rented from Turo, and so was ours. That's another coincidence that absolutely is continuing to bear from our investigation that we have to continue to look into. So thank you very much. And as we get additional information for all of you, I'm sorry, I'll give you a shot.
Are investigators using any of these city license plate readers this evening?
That's the question is, are we using the license plate readers and the technology Well, one, you see the drone flight through the vehicle because it was unsafe to get there, so that we're using that technology. Thankful to have it, as well as the first indication of that vehicle arriving here in Las Vegas came from a license plate reader. So technology has been very useful to us in resolving this. And again, I'll commit to come back to you all when we have confirmation of the suspect's name, who they are, what their background is. We will get that information back out to you. We'll call another press conference and provide it. I just like to, again, thank the mayor, the commissioners, the other law enforcement leaders, and of course our Attorney General for showing up and supporting us in this event. It's been a statewide effort, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Just want to show you again the videos that they showed. And again, you heard them say they don't think there's another threat. They think that the threat is over. They believe sounds like they know who did this, but this is the driver that died in the incident. But they haven't released the name of the person who that is. But if you look on at the videos again, it's very interesting. Here is the video they posted of the explosion.
Truck parked right in front of the doors. Can you play that again, Carlos? So the individual that was in that truck is obviously deceased, still in the truck as we speak here today. Our fire department folks, Engine 12, a number of others, you'll hear from one of the fire chiefs here in just a moment, arrived very quickly along with my officers. And obviously we knew that we had a much larger event than just a vehicle fire. And so there's going to be a drone video that plays to my left again. You'll see as the fire initially, they covered it with the tarp to try to get it to go out. Once the fire went out through the suppression efforts of the fire department, you'll see some of the evidence in the back of the vehicle. So those are gasoline canisters. They are camp fuel canisters and large firework mortars.
Gasoline canisters, camp fuel canisters, and large firework mortars. And as of the press conference, they weren't sure how the detonation happened. And they said that this vehicle was rented and then was brought to Vegas and was in Vegas for around an hour before it pulled up at the Trump Tower there, the Trump Hotel, and within 15 to 20 seconds exploded. What is the guy's name? You know, I don't know if that's been reported elsewhere. I haven't seen it, but I don't know. So, I mean, as of this press conference, which was before we came on the air, they said they knew who he was. Yeah, there were 7 people hurt, and 2 were sent to the hospital, but they've been released. Yeah, the company that rented the trucks is called Turo, which is actually, I know you might not have heard of Turo, but it's a well-known. It's not like a brick building somewhere. It's for years. It's been a relatively widely used app and website where it's a platform where people can put up their own vehicles to be rented. Sort of like, if I remember right, kind of like an Airbnb of cars. One of our viewers just said that. Dilgwarn said it's like Airbnb for cars. Yeah, Turo, hold on, I'll show you. Turo, says Wikipedia, is an American peer-to-peer car sharing company. The company allows private car owners to rent out their vehicles via an online and mobile interface in 4 countries: US, Canada, UK, and Australia. As of March 2024, the site had 360,000 active vehicle listings. Nan B said the name has been leaked. Now, I haven't seen that, but somebody's probably going to write to me with it right now. I don't know. I haven't seen a name myself. And as to motivation, they were saying they don't have any, evidence right now that this is like connected to ISIS or anything. So I don't know what the police know about the person who did this. Oh, Tyler said CNN named them based on what Turo told them. Hang on. I haven't seen it yet. Anyways, if you see something about that from a good source, you can send it to me. But they certainly didn't say it in the press conference. One of our viewers said CBS said something. Copper Grease says the New Orleans truck was a newer Ford 150 Lightning, which is an EV now. That's what Copper Grease claims. I'm reading the CBS News article right now, and it doesn't seem to mention a name in it. I just looked at it. Anyways, I'll keep you updated on that if we hear any more. By the way, thank you to Julia Gulia, NJ Prepper, Beck Sands, Buddy Jacob, Lucia Rinka Estevez, Martin Gingrich, Ron Dykman, Max Rommel, NE14ABJ, Marin Gobra, HomeAwares. Yeah, there was a 4.7 earthquake in California. A 4.7. That's what I just saw. .5 4.5 earthquake, says USGS right there. In California, west of Sacramento. There you go. North Central California, 4.5. That was about 9 minutes ago. People keep saying in the chat, hostage situation in Vegas. I have not seen anything about hostages. Over an hour ago, the Vegas police said there was a barricaded person situation on a bus. I've seen no reporting that that is connected to either of the things that happened today. You can see this was an hour and 20 minutes ago. Police investigating a person barricaded on a bus. I have not heard that there are hostages. I guess in theory there could be. One of the local outlets said it was originally reported as a person with a knife. I will let you know if I hear any more about that. Now let's try to get you some more updates on the latest in these investigations. As we mentioned before, reportedly police for hours have surrounded the home, a home connected with the suspect, the New Orleans suspect, in Houston. But they have not been able to get inside yet because they don't have a warrant yet. Reportedly, in the coming hours, they will get a warrant and be able to go inside that house. Oh, hang on a moment here. So let me show you a couple of photos here. I'll show you a couple things from AP that I haven't even shown you yet. So they have an article here. You can see it says, what is the Islamic State and what attacks has it inspired by offshoots and lone wolves? And in there they have, is that the flag? A black flag with white lettering lies on the ground rolled up behind the pickup truck. Ah. There's that one. Then there's the photo of the suspect, undated passport photo of the suspect. Those are the two I want to show you. Oh, and then this is also from the scene. So, in case you haven't seen it, that is a photo from the scene. That is the pickup truck. That is this piece of equipment, like a cherry picker kind of thing, or a crane thing, whatever it is, bucket lifter, that it seemed to crash into. And And that is the pickup truck right there. And there's an overhead view. So again, that's the truck. And then the flag is back here. Oops, you can't, I'm blocking the flag. So AP says the flag is right here. Now, there's reports that there was a flag inside the truck, an ISIS flag. I don't know if they mean this thing. Maybe there's another flag inside the truck. I don't know. But again, I know there's a flag here, but I don't know if that was inside the truck or was it on the back of the truck. There's some photos that seem to show that pole attached to the back of the truck, but there's reporting that there was a flag in the truck. So I don't know if there was another flag that was in the truck and this was outside the truck, or was this in the truck, or was this outside the truck and the reports that said it was in the truck actually meant outside the truck, if you see what I'm saying. Pepsi Man says today a video of flying. That I don't know. Well, I assume there's video of the truck, driving around. And then here's the picture of the guy. It's a passport picture of him that was released by the FBI. That's a passport picture of the suspect. Who again was born in the U.S., U.S. citizen, and was in the military for a number of years. And then let me just show you some of these updates here. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but hold on. Showed you that. Okay. So the death toll has risen to 15, according to the coroner. 15 people dead. Biden says authorities are investigating whether New Orleans attack is linked to the Las Vegas explosion. I have not heard any report from authorities that they have found any links. President Biden said the attacker posted video indicating he was inspired by the Islamic State group. Biden said hours before the attack, the truck driver posted videos on social media saying he was inspired by Islamic State and expressing a desire to kill. Divorce records reveal some information about the New Orleans attacker's finances. Divorce records show that in January 2022, the suspect in New Orleans, Shamsud Din Jabbar, was $27,000 behind on house payments. He wanted to quickly finalize the divorce. He said, "I have exhausted all means of bringing the loan current other than a loan modification, leaving us no alternative but to sell the house or allow it to go into foreclosure," he wrote in an email to his now ex-wife's attorney. His businesses were struggling. One, Blue Meadow Properties, LLC, lost about $28,000 over the previous year. Two others he started, Jabbar Real Estate Holdings, LLC, and BDQ L3C, weren't worth anything. The divorce was approved in September of 2024, not that long ago. I thought it was 2022 was approved. They're saying 2024. Death toll is at 15. If confirmed as inspired by the Islamic State, the attack would represent the deadliest such assault on U.S. soil in years. The militant group's flag was on the trailer hitch of the truck involved in the New Orleans attack, according to the FBI. The trailer hitch. A tow hitch, or trailer hitch, says Wikipedia, is a device attached to the chassis of a vehicle for towing, or a tow bar. So the flag was on the trailer hitch, I assume on that pole that we saw, with these flag-looking thing. Rachel Tapero said the pole is hitched on the tailgate. FBI officials have repeatedly warned about an elevated international terrorism threat due to the Israel-Hamas war. The driver served in the army. A U.S. official said Shamsuddin Jabbar got out of the army in 2015, but it was not clear if he went into the reserve after that. He served as an information technology specialist, served for a number of years in the army. A Baton Rouge father of two is one of the people killed. Reggie Hunter had just left work and was headed with a cousin to celebrate New Year's when the attack happened. Just terrible. "18-year-old who wanted to be a nurse is among the victims." Zion Parsons, a Mississippi man who was celebrating New Year's Eve in New Orleans. Oh, no. Said his friend who dreamed of becoming a nurse was among the people killed. Zion Parsons said a vehicle suddenly appeared, and as he watched, it hit his friend, 18-year-old Nikira Dido. He said he watched as authorities put a tarp over his friend's body. He later called the friend's family to tell them what had happened. Terrible. Again, we have heard the company Turo said that both trucks were the New Orleans Cybertruck, the New Orleans pickup truck, and the Las Vegas Cybertruck were rented using the Turo platform. The Turo, the company's vice president of communications, says the pickup truck was rented on Turo, an app that connects drivers known as guests with vehicle owners known as hosts. The company said, "We are heartbroken to learn that one of our host vehicles was involved in this awful incident. We are actively partnering with the FBI. We are not currently aware of anything in the guest's background that would have identified him as a trust and safety threat to us at the time of the reservation." And this is, be careful with this. AP is still reporting that investigators have reviewed video showing 3 men and a woman placing an improvised explosive device in connection with the car attack. But a CNN reporter said a couple hours ago that CNN was hearing that these 3 men and a woman actually did not place an explosive. So we're seeing some different reporting on that important claim. The CNN reporter Holmes Libran said federal investigators now believe 3 men and 1 woman seen in the French Quarter in surveillance video were not involved in placing improvised explosive devices, according to CNN. Was his name different in the past as A.B. Gardner? I haven't heard anything about that. Prepper Medic says fog of war. Oh, by the way, I have an interesting picture from Reuters of the Cybertruck burning. Let me show you that. Hang on. We watched the press conference for this. Tesla Cybertruck explodes outside Las Vegas Trump Hotel, killing driver. I still haven't seen the name of the person who did this. The police said they know who did it, but they have not released the name. They said they're investigating. The FBI said they're investigating whether this was an act of terrorism. Let me show you that photo there. Here, look at this. This is the Reuters photo right there. There is the Cybertruck burning in front of Trump Hotel in Vegas. Our viewer Kubuntu Kowalski says, looks like a movie scene. Brooke says, crazy. Is the person who did this someone who, isn't a fan of Trump and Elon Musk, who has been working with Trump, and Elon Musk's company makes the Cybertruck? I have no idea. Here's another picture. I haven't seen this before. This from Reuters, another picture of the car after the fact, the Cybertruck right there. Yes, the driver inside got killed. And then here's video.
Oh my God.
From earlier. Smoke rises after a Tesla Cybertruck explodes outside Trump's hotel in Las Vegas.
I just heard a boom.
Oh my God. I heard that boom too, but I didn't know it was actually outside. I thought it was a person in the hallway.
I was teased because of my teeth. I didn't like the person looking at me in the mirror.
I hope not another one goes off.
That's a lot of smoke. It looks like there might be some blackness on the sign.
Like a fire, maybe?
And then there's also, should we look at this? Hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. In case you missed it, I'm just going to play the video one more time of that Cybertruck exploding because it's just pretty crazy. Where is it here? Right here. This is the video that the police, hold on. The police showed video of the explosion in their press conference today.
And then the truck exploded. Smoke was coming from inside of the truck after we noticed the flash and the explosion, and I'm going to show you that first video. That's the Cybertruck parked right in front of the doors.
There it is.
Can you play that again, Carlos? So the individual that was in that truck is obviously deceased, still in the truck as we speak here today. Our fire department folks, Engine 12, a number of others, you'll hear from one of the fire chiefs here in just a moment, arrived very quickly along with my officers. And obviously we knew that we had a much larger event than just a vehicle fire. And so There's going to be a drone video that plays to my left again. You'll see as the fire initially, they covered it with the tarp to try to get it to go out. Once the fire went out through the suppression efforts of the fire department, you'll see some of the evidence in the back of the vehicle. So those are gasoline canisters. They are camp fuel canisters and large firework mortars. What I also would like you to pay attention, and they covered it with the tarp to try to get, you'll see. So those are gasoline canisters. They are camp fuel canisters and large firework mortars.
There you go. Our viewer Plaz thinks the dude just loaded anything he could find. Piero Tarot says that's why it made all those sparkles. I wondered. I'm sorry. Now this was a rental. One of our viewers said, how much does a Cybertruck cost? I don't know what the going rate for Cybertruck cost is right now. The web says roughly from $80,000. Kelly Blue Book says pricing starts at $79,990. You know, one of our viewers mentioned that you know the Vegas police said that the fact that it was a Cybertruck reduced the amount of damage from the explosion. But you know, I don't know, because I don't know if the person doing this was trying to cause the maximum damage with an explosion of any kind, or, you know, it's possible that the person who did this wanted it to be a Cybertruck. You might say, well, they could have just used another vehicle and it wouldn't be a Cybertruck and it wouldn't be as strong or whatever, and the explosion would have done more damage. But I mean, it's very possible, obviously, that the person who did this wanted to make some sort of statement by using a Cybertruck. We haven't heard the suspect identified yet. Yeah, I'll let you hear what the police said about the fact that it was a Cybertruck and the explosion.
What I also would like you to pay attention to on that video, as you see that, it looks like the exterior of that truck is completely intact as it sits there. The fact that this was a Cybertruck really limited the damage that occurred inside of the valet, because it had most of the blast go up through the truck and out. In fact, if you look on that video, you'll see that the front glass doors at the Trump Hotel were not even broken by that blast, which they were parked directly in front of. You can see that in the video there.
Look at all the fireworks. Now, I'm not a fireworks expert, but I mean, those are not little finger-sized fireworks, right? Those look like pretty significantly sized things. Laura True thinks the person was definitely sending a message by using a Cybertruck. Now, did this person post anything about this anywhere, or leave any writings, or tell anyone they were going to do something? We don't know yet. Oh, hold on a second. I have an update for you guys. Oh, two updates for you. First of all, Las Vegas police say, we have a couple news updates for you. Las Vegas police say that they have taken the person into custody without further incident. So the person who was barricaded on a bus for, I guess, several hours, it sounds like, in Las Vegas. They have been taken into custody moments ago without further incident. There's no word that this has any connection to either of the events today. But just so you know, that person was taken into custody moments ago without further incident. And the other update is FBI Houston just posted about FBI Houston is state and federal authorities, local and federal authorities have for hours been at this house in Houston, which is believed to be connected to the suspect in the New Orleans truck attack. And but reportedly they have not been able to go inside yet because they don't have a warrant yet. So let's see what the FBI just posted an update about this. FBI Houston and the Harris County Sheriff's Office are continuing a court-authorized search of a location. So have they gone in yet? Near the intersection of Hugh Road and Crescent Park Drive. At this time, no arrests have been made at this location, and FBI personnel will be at the scene for several more hours. We are asking members of the public to continue to avoid this area, and a temporary flight restriction has been implemented. Fox News has been showing, and actually Fox News right now is showing a live shot from that area of authorities in that area. Throughout this operation, we have deployed specialized teams, including our FBI SWAT team, crisis negotiators, special agent bomb technicians, tactical operations center, evidence response team, and a group of counterterrorism investigators. We are grateful for the substantial assistance provided by our partners at the Harris County Sheriff's Office, the Houston Police Department, and Homeland Security Investigations. Since this is an ongoing investigation, we are unable to provide any more information at this time. However, we encourage anyone with information related to the New Orleans attack to submit tips online. So they say they're going to be there for several more hours. They also say no arrests have been made. Why a flight restriction? Fair question. Maybe they just don't want anyone interfering with what's going on. Maybe they don't want people to see what they're up to and get news about the investigation. You wouldn't want the suspect to be flying a drone over there, I would assume. So Alexa says so they can use drones if needed. But again, I don't know if they've gone in yet because they were supposedly waiting for a search warrant to go in the house. Alexa says, I saw a drone over that house. Well, maybe it was a law enforcement drone. But that statement was just released by FBI Houston. Let me read a couple comments here. By the way, thanks so much to Captain Jerry Donnelly, who thinks there will be a receipt found for the fireworks in Vegas. JRZ Gamer. JRZ Gamer said the bus incident was only a few blocks away from the Trump Hotel. Thanks. I haven't heard any reporting that those two things are connected. So remember, the police said that they didn't think there was an ongoing threat. They suggested, if I remember in the press conference, that they didn't think this, that they thought that the guy, that there weren't other. I think they said that they thought this was one person who did this, if I remember right. They certainly gave no indication that they thought other people were involved. And they certainly said there was no ongoing threat. But the incident in Vegas was, I have it on the map here. Yeah, Fremont and Charleston. Where is the Trump Hotel? I think it was right around here. And then I'd have to find the Trump Hotel. Directions from here to Trump Hotel, if I'm right. I mean, if I'm right there, it's about 4.5 miles. If my initial address was right. I might have it wrong, but the intersection I went to was Fremont and Charleston, which they said Fremont and Charleston was the location. But I might have that wrong. Yeah, Fremont and Charleston. But they say that that person is now in custody and has been taken into custody without incident. So that situation is now over. See? Thank you to George in Chung House. Yes, we mentioned that earlier. Both vehicles and both incidents were rented through the Turo platform. Longboard, Ninja Master, and Ronald Kane, thanks for being members for so long. Vasil Mometko, thank you. Capitalist. I don't really have any thoughts right now about the Ukraine situation. Maybe we'll be doing more coverage of that in the future. Thank you, Vasil Mometko, as to how long that'll go on. I do not know. Capitalist 88. And also, thank you to Haunted Wind over there on Twitch, Device X, Wana the Fist, Binny Says, MP Sharp 4, Mudmore, Screeching Bottle Rocket, and Jazzy Renee. All right, let's try to get you some further updates on what is happening. New York Times says that the suspect in the New Orleans truck attack has more than a decade's worth of experience in the military and also did deploy once to Afghanistan. He was a human resource specialist and information technology specialist. The New York Times says he told a reporter in 2015 he spent most of his military career as an information technology specialist running a help desk. Oh, hold on a second here. Let me just go over this too. I haven't even looked at this article. This from the Washington Post here. There's a picture of the driver. Shamsud Din Jabbar, a 42-year-old American citizen and Army veteran born in Texas. Crashed through crowds of people, got into a shootout with officers. He was pronounced dead soon after. Again, we saw this in the press conference before on our other stream several hours ago. The FBI said, we do not believe that Jabbar was solely responsible. We'll see if they maintain that view. Officials may face mounting questions about the security measures they had in place for a city that frequently draws throngs of tourists and hosts large public gatherings. According to experts, bollards or posts placed to block vehicles from accessing certain spaces can be a useful tool to prevent attackers from driving into pedestrians and crowds. In New Orleans, the bollards that were meant to keep vehicles off Bourbon Street were not up on New Year's Eve because they were being replaced ahead of the Super Bowl, said the mayor. Those bollards had been installed about 10 years ago, but the mayor said they soon began to malfunction, so they were being replaced. Authorities appeared to bristle during the briefing at some of the questions they faced about the attack and security measures. The police superintendent said there were security protocols in place describing how police use patrol cars and other barriers instead of bollards to block roads. We did indeed have a plan, but the terrorists defeated it, said the police chief. And you may have seen this, but there's video showing the beginning of the attack where the pickup truck is driving up Canal Street. I'll post a link to it. And it gets to Bourbon Street, and there's like one police car that's blocking the entrance to Bourbon Street, and it just speeds up and just goes right around the police car. And then a couple times in the press conference today, the authorities had said something like, well, the person drove on the sidewalk. As if like, I mean, to me, it sounded like that was their excuse for not stopping it, is that the person drove on the sidewalk. And as I said earlier, it sounded a bit strange to me because, well, I mean, if you think somebody's up to no good, why do you think they would just not drive on the sidewalk if that space was open? Let me post a link to that video, which is very interesting if you haven't seen it. It's the video of the start. It's not graphic, but it's the start of the attack. Right here. I'm posting it right now from Fox 8 New Orleans. I don't have the rights to the video, but I'm posting it in the chat. Fox 8 New Orleans on X. And you just see the car is kind of on traffic on Canal Street, and it all of a sudden, it just speeds up and goes right around the police car and pulls into that street. It's crazy. DE says there's another video where he missed hitting a bunch of people as well before he crashed, I believe. There's a couple of those videos floating around. One of them I post on my X account. Let me real quick just show you. One of our viewers, Marcia Braga, says, I saw a video of a woman getting hit. So Bourbon Street, the video that I just posted the link to, what you see is you see the car. So see, this is Canal Street, and that's Bourbon Street right there. And the car is like driving with traffic up this way. And then there's a police car like right here. And it just pulls around the police car. So the police car was like right here. And the truck, it basically just speeds up and goes right down here, goes right down the sidewalk. See right there in this picture on Google Maps, there's a bollard there. That's one. But, you know, in theory, you could just block the whole thing off. Yeah, it is a narrow street. But that's the street that it went down. And it went down like about 3 blocks, hitting people. But again, there was a police car right here, and it just comes up, and it speeds up, and it goes right around it and goes right down here. Oh, this white thing here, I don't know, I wasn't even paying attention to that. But I was just talking about, you know, you can put these kind of things down. Harvey says they could have put concrete blocks on the sidewalk to block. Sure, I mean, obviously, you know, now, you know, you might need to get an emergency vehicle down there at some point. That's something to keep in mind. That might have been said in the press conference, but, you know, if you do put something down, you're going to have a way to remove it in case something actually needs to get down there. But that's the street it went down, right there. Because that's Canal and that's Bourbon Street. No Doorway says NYC uses dump trucks filled with sand. Shane S says plow trucks. Yeah, I mean, if you put a truck there, it could block it and then you can just move it. One of our viewers says, in hindsight, it's always easier to judge. Well, again, according to the authorities, they did have security measures in place. So the authorities did, it's not like the authorities said, oh, we weren't trying to block traffic. The authorities suggested they were trying to block traffic. Nick says this white thing is a temporary wall. It raises and lowers. Oh, now I don't even know if this was there. I mean, this is a 2023 picture. I don't know if this was there last night. But again, the car went down the sidewalk, the truck. And then I'll post a link to, I know B&O News posted 1 or 2 videos showing how fast this car was going. Yeah, here's a video from B&O News showing people barely surviving as this truck speeds by them. I'm posting the link right now in the chat. B&O News posted that from Faytux Network. And actually, you do see in this video, you can slow it down and see the pole sticking out of the back of the truck. But the flag doesn't seem to be flapping around. But the flag pole is on the back there. A viewer just said you can't block every street or something like that in America or something. The thing is, Bourbon Street is one of the most famous pedestrian entertainment streets in the country. It is like one of the biggest tourist attractions in that area. Maybe the biggest, I don't know, but certainly it's a very famous stretch of pedestrian-heavy businesses. Jay Sand says it's like Fremont Street in Vegas. Jen mentioned that AZ Intel posted something from the City of Bryan Police Department. I don't even know what this whole is. The City of Bryan, Texas Police Department said false media and social media information. The Bryan, Texas Police Department is aware of media and social media posts alleging the presence of potential terrorist cells in Bryan, Texas. I have not seen any such posts like that. Connected to the recent tragedy in New Orleans, we want to assure the public we have been in continuous communication with our federal partners since this information surfaced earlier today. As of now, no confirmed links to Bryan, Texas have been identified during the ongoing federal investigation. I had not seen those reports. Thank you, Jen, for mentioning that, and AZ Intel for posting that. Mark G says Alex Jones said that. Alex Jones. I didn't hear him say that, so I don't. Maybe he did. I don't know. Jordan R said it was an Alex Jones post. Maybe I can find the post. Oh, Alex Jones posted on X that he claimed that Texas law enforcement was investigating potential ISIS cell in Bryan/College Station. He posted, I'm not going to watch the video, he posted a 6-minute video on his @RealAlexJones X account, because I'm looking at it. So I haven't watched that, but again, the city of Bryan says no confirmed links to Bryan have been identified. Thanks for writing in about that. Damon asked about the identity of the victims. A few of them have been identified that I've seen, but I have not seen, the authorities have not listed, released a list of everybody. Hang on a moment here. Oh, let me give you an update here about this report that we had heard before about possibly other people planting explosives. This is from AP. Islamic State-inspired driver expressed desire to kill before deadly New Orleans rampage, Biden says. We talked about that earlier. Biden said that the driver, several hours before the New Orleans attack, posted videos to social media expressing solidarity with ISIS, saying he had been inspired by ISIS and saying he wanted to kill. But if you go downhill, it says, an FBI special agent said at the press conference today, we do not believe that Jabbar was solely responsible. Investigators found multiple improvised explosives, including 2 pipe bombs that were concealed within coolers and wired for remote detonation, according to a Louisiana State Police intelligence bulletin obtained by the AP. The bulletin, relying on preliminary information gathered soon after the attack, also cited surveillance footage that it said showed 3 men and a woman placing one of the devices. But federal officials did not immediately confirm that detail, and it wasn't clear who these people were or what connection they had to the attack, if any. CNN reported that those people did not actually place an explosive. And I don't know, when the special agent from the FBI said we do not believe Jabbar was solely responsible, why was she saying that? Was she only saying that because there was this belief that there was surveillance video of other people planting explosives? If it turns out that the FBI does not believe those people in a surveillance video were planting explosives anymore, does that mean they have no other reason to think there was anybody involved? Could we end up with a situation where the authorities, the FBI, comes out in the coming days and say, you know what, we actually think it was just a solo operation? Don't know. I don't know what other information they might have that other people are involved. They did not answer that question. I certainly wouldn't be surprised if that turned out to be the case. Stickler for Change says probably just another lone wolf. That would be a simpler explanation. Sea Turtle says, then who planted the explosives? Well, we haven't even had it confirmed that there were definitely planted explosives. Maybe there's suspicious devices that weren't actually explosives. Red Rose says there are security cameras everywhere. Happy Jack says, doubt anyone has all the answers yet. Oh, here's a little background on his Army service from AP. Jabbar joined the Army in 2007, serving on active duty in human resources and information technology and deploying to Afghanistan from 2009 to 2010. He transferred to the Army Reserve in 2015 and left in 2020 with the rank of Staff Sergeant. He was working for the Army for a long time. And I don't know if his inspiration had anything to do with the Israel-Hamas war. FBI officials have repeatedly warned about an elevated international terrorism threat due to the Israel-Hamas war. In the last year, the agency has disrupted other potential attacks, including in October, when it arrested an Afghan man in Oklahoma for an alleged Election Day plot targeting large crowds. So, you know, President Biden said that this person, this attacker, said he was inspired by ISIS, and he had an ISIS flag, says the FBI, in the vehicle. But assuming this person was inspired by ISIS, is this something what were his grievances? You know what I'm saying? Like in the video, did he say, I'm mad about Israel's treatment of Hamas? Or did he not refer to that? We don't know. We haven't heard any of those specifics. Rio Bernays Sauce says FBI to brief Congress tonight. I had seen a report that the FBI was going to brief Congress tomorrow. CNN says FBI is going to provide a briefing, an unclassified briefing to House and Senate oversight committees, the relevant House and Senate oversight committees tomorrow at 10 a.m. Now, is that going to be broadcast or not? I don't know about that. Oh, I have an update for you guys. I have an update. CNN says that the explosive devices associated with the New Orleans attack were manufactured at an Airbnb that was rented out for that purpose, the Attorney General of Louisiana told NBC. And the Attorney General of Louisiana said a house fire occurred this morning at an Airbnb connected to this event, where we believe the IEDs were being made. We had heard about a fire at an Airbnb after the attack. Let me see if NBC News has posted about that. Yes, actually, a few hours ago, NBC had said law enforcement officials said they searched an Airbnb rental. Individuals had rented the house and were using it to manufacture IEDs. Okay, so again, NBC News was told by the Louisiana Attorney General that an Airbnb rental in New Orleans was rented by, she says, individuals, plural, and were using it to manufacture IEDs. So, I mean, maybe they, we were asking about what evidence they have other people were involved. Well, if they know that multiple people rented out that Airbnb and were staying there, right? That would be evidence that maybe somebody else was involved. If this guy didn't rent it out himself, if other people were there with him, maybe, I don't know. The Limey says that means there's IEDs out in the wild. I don't know. I do wonder if eventually they'll say, you know what? We thought other people were involved, but they weren't. That I don't know. Thanks to iLoan and Occam's Sledgehammer and Enoch123 and George and Sharona over on YouTube. Laureen heard that the FBI found, a BBC said the FBI discovered more than 150 bombs during a raid on a farm in Virginia. I have not, that was somebody who was arrested on December 17th. A man named Brad Spafford. I have heard no reporting at all that is in any way connected to what happened today in Vegas and New Orleans. That's as of right now, that's not connected from what we know. Yeah, I don't want to get all into this story, but this is the story from a couple weeks ago. FBI found 150 homemade bombs at Virginia home during search in December, prosecutors say. This person, Brad Spafford, this is from AP. Thank you for writing in to our viewer who asked that question. Oops, hold on a second here. Thanks also Plains277 for your support on Patreon, and Tallulah A. Bell. Bad Gambler says in the Cybertruck explosion, there was a guy to the right with luggage, probably waiting for an Uber. How lucky was that guy? I think I missed it. Right here. Oh, I see. This is from the video that the Las Vegas police posted, and you're talking about this guy right here. Hold on. This person right here, you're saying, with luggage, right?
Show you that Cybertruck parked right in front of the doors. The doors.
Was a guy? Yeah, he ran away or something.
The doors. truck parked right in front of the.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. One of our viewers, I think Fugly Pump, said, no way he's not injured. Yeah, I mean, 7 people were injured, so certainly he could be one of them. I had missed that before. Victor says, looks like he got blown down.
Explosion, and I'm going to show you that first video. That's the Cybertruck parked right in front of the doors. Can you play that again, Carlos?
I don't know if he got blown away or just ran away. Night Owl thinks he ran. He was not blown away. Anthony Poff says he literally just runs away. The driver in the Cybertruck was killed. By the way, I have not seen yet. The Las Vegas police said they knew who did this, but they were not releasing the name. I have not seen that name reported. I have not seen it. So I'm checking some of the messages people have sent me as well. Thanks, Bad Gambler, for messaging about the person in the video near the Cybertruck. Hold on a second here. One of our viewers mentioned there was a drone video that showed the property in Houston. I see. Sweet Shadow Shirts mentioned that. The property in Houston that the authorities believe is connected to the New Orleans truck driver, that authorities have been outside it for hours, and I don't know if they've gone in yet. But one of our viewers sent me, it's this thing right here. This is the one. Well, hold on, let me just make sure. But according to that video posted by WBRZ, it looks like it is it that one? No. No, I can't find it. I had it before, now I don't know where it is. Oh, up there? Oh, I might have been on the wrong side of the street. Sweet Shadow Shirts. I see. Okay. So there's a video that Sweet Shadow Shirts sent me that suggests that the building that the police, the local and federal police have been surrounding in North Houston is this building right here. Right there. So that's Hugh Road and that's Crescent Peak Drive. I was looking like down here. But there's a drone video from WBRZ which focuses on this building right here. So maybe that's the one. And I can show you on the street. Oops, I don't know if I can show you on the street. Can you see through there? It would be like back, I think back in here. Joseph says they're about to breach the property. Are you watching like Fox News? Fox News had a live shot of it. Again, I believe it's this place right here. Oh, you know what I did? I didn't play this. Fox News has a live shot on their website of this scene. And they're just right now, they're just showing like a sheriff SWAT vehicle or police vehicle of some kind. Did CNN say law enforcement? CNN a little while ago had said it was going to be several hours before they got in. Did they actually update CNN and say that they've actually gone inside? Oh, there you go. Yes, 10 minutes ago, CNN says, well, CNN said law enforcement has begun searching the property, but they're just basing that on that on the FBI statement that I read you like a half hour ago. So FBI Houston said it was FBI Houston and Harris County Sheriff's Office are continuing a court-authorized search of the location. But I don't know if that means they've gone inside the house yet. Maybe they have. We'll take some more comments here. Sports Card Collector says, do you think the two attacks today were related? There's been nothing, no reporting. I mean, I don't know, but there's been no reporting that they were. I mean, it's an odd situation in that you have, you know, it's the same day, it's within hours of each other. You know, these two, what appear to be intentional attacks within hours of each other. Also, you know, in one of them, the car exploded. In the other one, there's talk that there's been explosives found. Both vehicles were rented on Turo. But at the same time, there seem to be important differences between them. I mean, we're hearing from the authorities, including President Biden, that the person in New Orleans was inspired by ISIS. Las Vegas police said there's no evidence of that at all in that they've found. The nature of the attack is quite different. I mean, in one, you have somebody running down dozens of people, killing 15 people. That's not what happened. The person with the Cybertruck could have tried to run over people, but didn't. They took their own life. So, you know, Ryan thinks there's no link. Maybe I'll ask you guys what you think. I mean, I haven't, there's no reporting from authorities or media yet that suggests there's a significant link. All right, I'm going to ask you guys what you think about this. We haven't done a poll today, so I'll see what you think. Oh. Then I'll show you guys what you said. And hang on. Facebook supposedly has a way to do it, but I don't even see it. I'm just going to check here. I don't even see it. They say do it this way, and I look it up, and I... Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. I have no idea if that just worked. I have no idea if that just worked. I just tried to post a poll on Facebook, but I don't think it actually worked. I just did what Facebook said to do to post a poll. Where is it? Interactivity, polls. I created the poll. Oh, here, not published. Activate poll. Did it work? Is there a poll on Facebook right now? I said activate poll. Can anyone see a poll on Facebook? There is a poll on Facebook. For the first time ever, we're doing the poll on Facebook. How about that? Well, I made that work. And then I'm going to try one other thing here. How do I see the results of the poll? Do I have to vote in it on Facebook to see what the results are? Can you guys see the results of the poll? On Facebook, are you guys seeing the results? I can just see how you vote, but I don't even see the results of it. All right, let me show you guys what other people said. I'm asking you guys if you think the two incidents are connected, all right? So I somehow managed to post a poll on Facebook, but I cannot at all see what the results are. Oh, I can see it. All right, I can see it. All right, I'm going to show you guys, for the first time, we have Facebook results on a poll. Can you believe it? I finally figured it out. All right, so what I'm going to do is, for the first time, why am I hearing myself? I don't want to be hearing myself. Okay. Okay, so on YouTube, people on YouTube, I said, are the two events connected? And on YouTube, 64% said yes. Only 36% said no. All right. On Facebook, yes, we're really going to give you Facebook results from the poll. Unbelievable. Oh, I can show it in the video. Show results in video. Facebook, it's 65% yes, 35% no. Look at all this polling data. Amazing. Oh, I just figured out how to show you guys in Facebook. You can now see the results on Facebook. And then on Twitch, oopsie. Hold on, I messed something up here. I messed something up. Oh, I see. That's going to make it more difficult. So just so you know, on Facebook, it's I have to remove that from the screen to show. I can't get them all on the screen at the same time. But you guys on Facebook can see your results. And on Twitch, it is 68% say no. So on Twitch, the result was 68% no. They're not related. So Twitch disagreed. with YouTube and Facebook. Louis R. says Twitch always has the most based viewership. Okay, anyways, now the Twitch poll just disappeared. All right. Thank you for voting, everyone. What I have to do now is get rid of the poll. We're going to end the poll on YouTube. That's done. All right, see Facebook, see we did the poll. Now I'm going to close the results on Facebook. All right, anyways, that got done. Were you guys able to see the results over there on Facebook? I hope you were able to see. Were you guys able to see the results? Facebook? No, you weren't able to. I could see them. Was I the only one who could see them? Oh, Hope says you could. Okay. Yes, Tevis Bush says you could too as well. I just put it back up for a second, but yeah, they're posted there. Okay, people said they could see it. Good. I'm glad. Well, we did. We figured it out. We finally figured it. They don't make it easy to post a poll on Facebook, but I was able to figure out how to do it. What is this? All right. Let's see if I have any other updates for you. Our viewer Angie H claims she found 2 names for what? The Vegas suspect, but doesn't say where they came from. Do you have sources? Ken Dolanian with NBC, who's a reporter with NBC, reposted a post from Rich Groen, who says they were in the military. And Rich Groen said that the suspect in the New Orleans attack was served under his troop command, worked quietly and professionally in the S1 shop and as a mail clerk, was a great soldier who showed discipline and dedication. To think the same individual could harbor so much hate leading to such unspeakable atrocities is incomprehensible and heartbreaking. This transformation is a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked anger, isolation, and hate. That is from Rich Groen on X. It's also interesting that I think New Orleans wants people to still go out and like, you know, spend money in the city. The governor, Jeff Landry, about 2.5 hours ago posted this: ate dinner tonight in New Orleans. Proud to be a part of this incredibly resilient city. See everyone at the game tomorrow. I mean, I don't know. This looks to me like the post of someone who is trying to encourage people to feel safe in the city and go out. Again, this was posted at 8:14 p.m. And then he said after that, he also said, look, it's after that he posted, it's important to understand that we have many visitors in the city of New Orleans right now. Safety is our top priority, and we want our guests and the world to know that Louisiana does not cower to radical Islamic terrorists. Our restaurants and all of New Orleans has to offer, our restaurants and all New Orleans has to offer remain open for business. So, you know, seems like he's trying to help the businesses out. Bear Cuellar says, I live in Las Vegas, and we are definitely on edge right now. Jen also mentioned that the New York Times had an article. Thanks, Jen, for messaging about it. Jen Tower mentioned the New York Times has an article saying that relatives and friends saw few signs before the attack. They also say the suspect in New Orleans grew. The New Orleans suspect grew increasingly devout. And they say that there are people who knew him as a smart, caring brother and a quiet, helpful neighbor, but there were signs of growing instability in his life. They also say that the man who is married to the suspect's ex-wife said in recent months the suspect was acting erratically, being all crazy, cutting his hair after converting to Islam. And that the new husband of the ex-wife said the ex-wife, he and his wife stopped sharing the two daughters that the ex-wife shared with Mr. Jabbar. They stopped allowing the daughters to spend time with him. And about a year ago, the Times said the suspect moved into a rented home in a Muslim neighborhood north of Houston. I think that's the one the police might be searching. Yes. You can read that at the New York Times. Interesting. Then the Wall Street Journal has an article, The Descent of an Army Vet Turned Corporate Consultant Named in the Attack. The Wall Street Journal reports that he was working for Deloitte and Touche, if I'm pronouncing that right, and he set his out-of-office message on December 20th and planned to return after January 1st. Please expect a delay in response during this time. Now his account is deactivated, they said. Oh, this is interesting. Hold on. Hold on a second here. Let me see if I can get this for you here. Washington Post, renovation of vehicle barriers gave attacker an opening, authorities say. A key piece of protective infrastructure was undergoing repairs in New Orleans when a driver slammed into a crowd today, and several backup security measures failed to stop him. New Orleans began to install new vehicle bollards, these thick cylinders, these like short poles in the ground, to prevent vehicles from coming in. New Orleans began to install new bollards around its most famous streets and hotspots ahead of the Super Bowl in February, said the mayor after the attack. The short, sturdy posts made of metal, concrete, or wood often line the perimeters of historic public plazas or the entry points to famous streets and are meant to block vehicles from accessing buildings or pedestrian zones. Terrorism experts say bollards are among the most reliable means of preventing assailants from using vehicles to run down members of the public, especially in cities expecting large crowds for special occasions. The bollards have only become more crucial, these experts said, as those seeking to inflict mass casualties increasingly turn to high-speed vehicular attacks. But Cantrell and other officials said the bollards on Bourbon Street were down for renovations at the time that a driver swerved into the crowd. Cantrell said the bollards had stopped working properly soon after they were installed, years ago, I believe, and were being replaced as part of a broader infrastructure improvement package. She said, over 10 years ago, the city of New Orleans implemented an infrastructure project placing bollards on Bourbon Street. Shortly thereafter, the malfunctions of these bollards ensued from Mardi Gras beads on down. New Orleans is replacing its old bollards with removable stainless steel units along Bourbon Street. But on New Year's Eve, bollards were not up. The police superintendent said officials had deployed police vehicles and large physical barriers in place of the bollards to deter vehicles from accessing pedestrian areas on New Year's Eve. She conceded those measures proved ineffective. This particular terrorist drove around onto the sidewalk and got around the hardened hard target, she said. We did indeed have a plan, but the terrorists defeated it. Experts said the deadly attack was a reminder that vehicles have become the weapon of choice for many extremists across the globe. Much of the planning for such vehicle attacks, such as renting a car or truck, can be carried out in plain sight without raising suspicions, unlike, say, making a bomb. And if an attacker is determined to access an area where crowds have gathered, it can be difficult to stop them. This expert here, Bruce Hoffman, said law enforcement officials in the wake of the attack might start using bulkier bollards or barriers, but that alone would not address the question of how to fully prevent or mitigate mass carnage with a vehicle, he said. A 2022 study published in the British Medical Journal found that of 257 vehicular attacks that killed bystanders over roughly 5 decades through 2019, 71% had occurred within the previous 6 years. A researcher said these type of vehicular attacks require minimal resources and planning to inflict widespread death and injury. Surveillance footage shows a white pickup truck turning off Canal Street and accelerating around a police vehicle onto Bourbon Street. So we were just covering what a couple weeks ago the truck attack in or the vehicle attack in I can't remember if it was a truck in Germany at the Christmas market. Cryptician says, I don't understand why he chose New Orleans. I don't understand the connection between New Orleans and the reported reasons why he did the attack. That's a good question from Cryptician. You know, why New Orleans? Did he have some connection there? Did he see it as symbolic in some way? It's a good question. New Orleans is close to Houston. It's not like, it is 5-hour drive, according to Google, 347 miles. Not that close. Michael Castoriano thinks it's closest high population zone. James Malott says because of the Sugar Bowl. I don't know. It's a fair question. I also did think the timing was interesting, that this happened at 3:15 a.m. And I know people say, well, people are out there at 3:15 a.m. It's still pretty late. I mean, you know, like you might think if somebody is doing it on New Year's, they might want to do it around midnight or something. I don't know. But it's interesting to me that that was the timing, 3:15 a.m. Update from the New York Times that I had missed before. The New York Times reported that the suspect posted videos to his Facebook page the night before the attack, pledging allegiance to ISIS. And he appeared to be driving in the videos which were addressed to his family. I had not seen that report yet from the New York Times. So the New York Times reported tonight, they said that the suspect pledged allegiance to ISIS in several videos on his Facebook page last night before the attack. And he appeared to be driving in the videos which were addressed to his family. So that would be pledging allegiance to ISIS in several videos on his Facebook page last night before the attack. The night before the attack. I don't know if the night before the attack means like an hour before the attack or hours before the attack. President Biden said he had posted videos on social media hours before the attack. But the New York Times is saying it's Facebook. Dre Wissifer says so he was recruited. Don't know if he had contacts. I'm sure that's something the government's looking into, whether he had contacts with any people from, say, ISIS who might have been encouraging him or instructing him. And our Shayand Sardarazadeh, who is with BBC, says, while there was so much focus on his YouTube channel with the one video and LinkedIn profile earlier, his deleted Facebook page seems to have been the one with clear evidence of his radicalization. Ladina says, does that mean he's a member? Was he in contact? We don't know. It's a good question. Was he in contact with other people about this in advance? By the way, thank you to Extra Mile 150. Jada Roth, mama of 6. Nikos Konstianis over there on YouTube. Vegas Bradley. Also on Twitch. Hello Howdy for subscribing. Roger Shoemaker thinks when they raid his home, we'll know. That raid might be going on right now. They are at the house in Houston that is believed to be his house, and say they're going to be searching for several more hours, at least like an hour ago or so. The FBI said that. So who knows what they will find there. Oh, I think I have something about the victims. Here, I have something about the victims. Look, from Reuters. What we know so far about the victims. Nicole Perez, 28, had just gotten a promotion, was moving into a new apartment, and was teaching her 4-year-old son, terrible, to read before she was killed. Said her boss. She worked at a New Orleans area deli. She had a 4-year-old son, a hard-working mother, and a dedicated employee. That's just awful. Tiger Betch, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, a native of Lafayette, Louisiana, and a Princeton University graduate, was killed, 27 years old. He played football at Princeton. He worked in finance in New York and was in town for the holidays. Nikira Cheyenne Dedeaux, 18 years old, an aspiring nurse from Mississippi, was killed. I think we read an article talking about that her friend said that saw her get hit and killed. Melissa Dedeaux, who the Times-Picayune identified as Nikira Dedeaux's mother, appeared to confirm her daughter's death in a widely shared Facebook post on Wednesday. When your parents say don't go anywhere, please listen to them, Dedeaux wrote. My baby is gone, y'all. My baby is gone. She is no longer with us. And then also they mention Reggie Hunter, 37, the father of 2 from Baton Rouge. He worked as a warehouse manager, took pride in the academic achievements of his eldest son, who was of school age and enjoyed working out with friends and family, says the Times-Picayune. Condolences to all of the families of the victims. 15 dead. That's 5 right there. That 4 or 5? No, we talked about 4 of them, I'm sorry. While authorities have not released the names of the victims, at least 4 killed have been identified by family members or other associates. And thoughts with all of those injured. There's some pictures of those people floating around online too. Oh, do they have pictures here? Yeah, here's a story also about the victims. Trevant Hayes sits in the French Quarter after the death of his friend Nikira Dedeaux. So Zion Parsons, who was friends with Nikira Dedeaux, Zion Parsons had been celebrating New Year's Eve on his first night on Bourbon Street when a vehicle appeared and plowed into his friend, 18-year-old Nikira Dedeaux. A truck hit the corner and comes barreling through, throwing people like in a movie scene, throwing people into the air, he said. It hit her and flung her at least like 30 feet. And I was just lucky to be alive. Wow. This is from AP. As the crowd scattered in the chaos, he ran through a gruesome aftermath of bleeding and maimed victims, hearing gunshots and explosive sounds. Bodies up, all up and down the street, everybody screaming and hollering, Parsons said. People crying on the floor, like brain matter all over the ground. It was just insane, like the closest thing to a war zone I've ever seen. Dido was set to start college and begin working towards her goal of being a registered nurse. We talked about Reggie Hunter. Hunter was killed and his cousin was injured. Okay. Anyways, I hadn't seen that account before. Tom Kearney says, so disturbing. It's terrible. Miss Lucifera says, those poor folks, R.I.P. Greta Wank heard that one victim was a kid who just graduated high school in Baton Rouge. He died and his brother is in critical. I haven't heard that. Trillion says, how many people are in critical condition? We don't know. That information has not been released that I've seen. I have not seen information about the condition of the victims. Joe Redicio, our viewer, says it will be interesting to see if the suspect, the driver, had contacts and if they were here or overseas. Nicolette Parker mentioned the Christmas parade a couple years ago. Waukesha Christmas parade attack. We covered that. That was when Darrell Edward Brooks Jr. drove a sport utility vehicle through the annual Christmas parade in Waukesha, killing 6 and injuring 62. The suspect, the person who did it, the perpetrator, had an extensive criminal record, grandmother said he had bipolar disorder. Anyways, I don't remember what came out about that, but I don't believe there was a connection to like radical Islam in that case. Am I wrong? I haven't read through this whole thing. It's been a while. His mother wrote a letter to the media saying Brooks had a long history of mental health problems and no health insurance to pay for treatment. Real Sportsman says he was crazy. Some of our viewers are saying, like Jorge and Gamer Lover says, there were no connections to radical Islam. I have to go back and read this whole thing again, but I'm not aware that there were. I'm just skimming it over. I'm not seeing anything about that. Anyways, if you want to read about it, you can read Waukesha Christmas Parade Attack. Zayas says he was a sovereign citizen, but I don't think that has anything to do with the attack. Anyways, if you want to read more about it, go to the Wikipedia article. You know, something else I hope doesn't happen is that, you know, I mean, this is, people say this about a lot of things, but you hope that someone doesn't see this and, you know, you don't want copycat attacks to start happening. When was, so was the last radical Islamist, if that's what this is, it sounds like it was, vehicle attack in the U.S., was that the one in New York? Was it this one? New York City truck attack. In 2017, Sayfulo Saipov drove a rented pickup truck into cyclists and runners for about 1 mile on the Hudson River Park's bike path, killing 8 people, 6 of whom were foreign tourists, and injured 13 others. But was this radical Islam inspired? I don't even know. He had emigrated to the United States from Uzbekistan in 2010. Yes, he was shot in the abdomen by a policeman and arrested. A black standard and a document indicating allegiance to the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, ISIL, were found in the truck. So was that the last ramming attack, radical Islamist ramming attack in the U.S. in 2017, 7 years ago? Amy Clark thinks there are more of these attacks are bound to happen because Amy believes there's a report that there's more ISIS members in the U.S. right now. And Antoinette Kilpatrick says Las Vegas Live News on YouTube is live streaming. They're getting ready to remove the Cybertruck dude from the truck. Is that true? Lots of CSI folks on the scene? I don't have a live shot of that. That's what one of our viewers said. I didn't even know that the body hadn't been removed, if that's true. I do have, I might show it for a minute here. There's really not much to see. There's a live shot. I have access to the EarthCam feed from Bourbon Street. Maybe I'll just show that for a second. Yes, this is from EarthCam. Let me actually just throw up this credit that I need to throw. www.earthcam.com. Okay, so you can see right now there. Let me just throw this up there. That is a live shot from Bourbon Street, courtesy of EarthCam. Via AFP. That's how I'm showing that, because I can't just go steal their footage from their site, but AFP, I guess, made some sort of deal for it. You can find that at www.earthcam.com. That is on Bourbon Street somewhere. Nicole heard there was an FBI investigation at a townhouse in Colorado Springs. Is that true? Maybe related to the Cybertruck? Yes. KOAA News reports that the FBI is investigating at a townhouse complex in Colorado Springs. I wonder if that's because KRDO 4 hours ago reported that ABC News said the person who rented the Cybertruck involved in the explosion today outside the Trump Hotel may have come from Colorado Springs. ABC News, according to KRDO, ABC News said the person who rented the Cybertruck set out from Colorado Springs on December 30th. Okay? So there is currently, right now, according to KOAA News, the FBI is on the scene at a townhouse complex in Colorado Springs. Anyways, there's not. You can see it's a fairly at that part of Bourbon Street. It's a pretty quiet scene there. I should have put live there. I'm not going to play it that long, but I want to just have that up there. Oh, I just saw something else. Nine News Denver says that the Cybertruck that exploded at the Trump Hotel in Vegas was rented in Colorado. And the person who rented the truck has lived in Colorado Springs and has military experience. Again, 9 News Denver says the person who rented the Cybertruck and drove it to Las Vegas has lived in Colorado Springs and has military experience. That is from 9 News Denver. Nine News is choosing not to identify the person until law enforcement has publicly identified them. Says that's what 9 News says. I'm going to post that. What that military experience is, I have no idea. Jay-Z Gamer says both suspects have military experience. You know, so yeah, I mean, that could be true. Seems like maybe true. I mean, maybe if you're somebody who's like setting off, who's making explosives, certainly the Cybertruck had explosives, and we're hearing there might have been explosives in the New Orleans truck. I mean, maybe somebody would be more likely to do that if they had been in the military or had that, you know, somebody from the military would be more likely to have that knowledge. I don't know. The person, the Cybertruck person, has not been identified by police. They say they know who he is. They have not identified him yet. That is not leaked out yet, as far as I can tell. Thank you, by the way, to Manuel Castillo, who thinks the city of New Orleans dropped the ball of those aging bollards. Should have been replaced months ago before the Sugar Bowl, Super Bowl, for the safety of the tourists. I feel city's at fault. I certainly understand what Manuel is saying, which is like, oh, by the way, Fox News, let me say this. First of all, I know what Manuel is saying, which is if you're going to replace the bollards and have them not be functioning, do you really want to be doing that on New Year's Eve, which is obviously going to be a big, and the day before the Sugar Bowl, which is going to be a big, tourist period and a big period for people being out in the city. So I understand what Manuel's saying. Fox News says soon the FBI task force will enter the suspect's home. So I'm literally looking at Fox News right now, and they have a live shot from the suspect's home in Houston where they've been for hours. But reportedly, they'd been waiting for a warrant to get inside the home. So Fox News is now reporting that soon the FBI task force will enter the suspect's home in Houston. It says it's the headline right now on Fox News. Thanks to Derek Elkins as well, who says there was an attack in Edmonton recently. I don't know which one you're talking about. 2017 was a stabbing and vehicle ramming attack, says Wikipedia, in Edmonton. Where a police constable was hit and stabbed by 30-year-old Abdullahi Sharif, then struck 4 pedestrians with a rental truck during a police chase. Police confirmed an Islamic State flag in that van. But he was not charged with terrorism-related offenses, says Wikipedia. That's the 2017 Edmonton attack. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about, Derek Elkins. That one was from 2017. Warrior Grandma says that's the one. You can read about 2017 Edmonton attack on Wikipedia. Does anyone know? I've heard this report that there's going to be a briefing of certain congressional committees, an unclassified briefing tomorrow. CNN said that, but is it going to be broadcast? I haven't heard it will, but I don't know. It's not a hearing. It's a briefing, not a hearing, so maybe not. Rocco says doubt it. I mean, if I found out it was, then maybe I'd cover it, but I'm sure we'll be doing coverage of this tomorrow. Thank you, Lisa of the Line, for the gift memberships. Abby says it should, but it probably won't be. Mike Patrek said, have they said why devices did not go off in New Orleans? No. We haven't even, it hasn't been confirmed that there were viable explosive devices, but we've been hearing a talk of explosive devices found. Did the FBI say in the statement that they had confirmed the devices were viable? I don't know. I got to go back to the last FBI statement to even figure out what they said. But no, we don't have an account of why, if there were devices, they did not go off. Oh, B&O News also said that according to NOLA, I think NOLA.com, another victim is 21-year-old Hubert Gothrow. And they say his B&O News said his family had been searching for him until he was found for hours, until he was found at a local hospital where he died of his injuries. I'll post a link to that update from B&O. That's another person who was a fifth person who had been identified. Yeah, they said a potential, right. So in the last FBI statement, press release, they said a potential IED was found in the vehicle and other potential IEDs, improvised explosive devices, were found in the French Quarter. The FBI's special agent bomb technicians are working with our law enforcement partners to determine if any of these devices are viable, and they will work to render those devices safe. So we don't know for sure that there were explosives, potential explosives. Sarah Brown says, I seriously doubt this was ISIS. It was just a mentally ill person. ISIS hasn't claimed responsibility, and if it was them, they will. Well, they could claim responsibility even if they... Ooh, yes, I am still watching. Oh, that's not me. That's the AFP stream. Anyways, ISIS could claim responsibility even if they didn't direct the person. But it sounds like you're doubting that they actually had like a significant involvement. Don't know. Sports card collector says, are there people still in the house of the suspect in Houston that the FBI is going to go into? That I don't know. There was a video, I believe, hours and hours ago. I believe there was a video floating around of somebody outside there, maybe who'd been handcuffed. I'm not sure, but the FBI said tonight nobody has been arrested there. Nobody's been arrested. So I don't know if anybody else is in that building, if they've evacuated the building. It's a good question. I don't have that confirmed. I haven't heard any word that anyone else is in there. Oh, new photo. Is this new? I guess there's a new FBI statement out. Jeff Selden says FBI says that law enforcement is currently conducting a number of court-authorized warrants in New Orleans and other states related to the New Year's Day terror attack. FBI issued a more recent photo of the suspect. Jeff Selden just posted this. Jeff is with VOA News, and he said this came from the FBI. That's from Jeff Selden. Oh, I got it. I actually got it. I got it from the FBI. The FBI themselves posted it. Here, look. FBI update on Bourbon Street terrorist attack. This is new, right here. This is from the FBI. The FBI continues investigating the horrific attack on innocent victims on Bourbon Street in New Orleans in the early morning hours of January 1st, 2025. The suspect has been identified as 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S. citizen from Texas. Attached is a more recent photo of Jabbar. FBI special agents and our law enforcement partners are currently conducting a number of court-authorized search warrants in New Orleans and other states. The FBI's evidence response team continues to process the crime scene to meticulously gather all relevant evidence. The FBI plans to turn over the Bourbon Street crime scene to local authorities by early tomorrow morning. Additional FBI resources, including victim specialists, are responding to assist victims and family members. So that is a new statement from the FBI. They say they are currently conducting a number of court-authorized search warrants in New Orleans and other states. This is a more recent photo of Jabbar. Oh, Intel Point Alert said that a WTOP reporter had released the name of the Cybertruck driver. I just found it here. So hat tip to Intel Point Alert. Megan Cloherty with WTOP. Megan Cloherty with WTOP says, hold on a second here, that the driver of the Cybertruck has been identified as 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger from Colorado Springs. That's the name that Intel Point Alert posted too. According to a reporter from WTOP, citing sources, suspect is 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger. You can see at Intel Point Alert has been posting some good updates about this. Matthew Livelsberger, 37 years old, from Colorado Springs. Yeah, I did see a report saying that BNO News says at least 11 people shot in Queens, New York. I don't have an update yet that says, could be some kind of fight thing. I don't have any evidence yet that that's some kind of, random mass shooting. So I'll let you know what I hear, but I haven't heard anything to suggest that at this point. Oh, victims in a report, at least victims in a club. Alert page says multiple people shot. Initial report, at least something victims in a club. That's from alert page. Yeah. Can't I actually? Citizen New York has some reports about it. I guess these are at some different locations. Anyways. There was also a shooting in Montenegro, which we didn't even talk about. Oh, I was going to see if I had any more information about that Cybertruck person. Oh, suspect in Montenegro shooting dies after attempting suicide. A gunman who killed at least 10 people in a rampage in a small town in Montenegro died from self-inflicted injuries on Thursday after attempting suicide, said the country's interior minister. The gunman attempted suicide near his home. He opened fire at a restaurant in a small town in Montenegro where he killed 4 people. Then he moved on to 3 other locations, killing at least 6 more people, including 2 children. 4 other people suffered life-threatening injuries. He had a history of illegal weapons possession. Mass shootings are comparatively rare in Montenegro, which has a deeply rooted gun culture. It has 605,000 people. It shocked the country of 605,000 people. Anyways, I wanted to update you on that. Yeah, Intel Point Alert mentions the Queens report of people shot are at this. As Amazura is an event venue in Queens, New York. It's a nightclub, it looks like, Amazura. And the Citizen app says that there was a shooting. Where is it here? At one, they said there were victims outside the club and inside the club. So this was a shooting. Oh, and also there were people, a number of people shot, as Intel Point Alert pointed out. Citizen app said that police were requesting that on the second floor of the Amazura nightclub, 6 people were shot there. So this was a shooting, it looks like, at and outside of this nightclub called Amazura in Queens. Again, Megan Cloherty of WTOP News says that the name of the Cybertruck driver is 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger from Colorado Springs. She reports that he is the person who was driving the Cybertruck. And if you look him up, well, I don't want to start saying this. I just found some information potentially about him. But I don't know if it's the same person. So anyways, I haven't heard much information about that person. Yet again, the Queens shooting appears to be a shooting at and outside of a nightclub. So I'm going to assume for the moment that that's not some sort of terrorist incident, given that it's a shooting on New Year's night in and out of a nightclub. Yes, you can see alert page says multiple people shot. Initial report, at least 8 victims in a club. It's a nightclub in Queens. Some additional victims showing up at hospitals. Yeah, it's terrible. But just to be clear, I have no evidence that it's some sort of terror attack or something. All right, look, let's see here. By the way, thanks to Derek Elkins and Sticks and Stones, our member. Sir casts a lot. Hang on, I'm checking some of the things people have sent me. Okay, look, so there's obviously going to be more information about this. Oh, by the way, Sweet Shadow Shirt said on flight radar there was an area search. There was something circling around 2 hours, maybe related to the search. I don't know. Thanks to Sweet Shadow Shirts. Yeah, as we mentioned before, there was a report that 9 News said that there was, KOAA said that there was a investigation at a townhouse in Colorado Springs, possibly related to the Cybertruck explosion. Look, so there's going to be more news to cover, and but I need to sleep some more and take a break and eat something, because I haven't even done that. And I think maybe the best call would be to do that now. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Because the later I stay up now, the later I'll have to sleep, and I'd rather get up and cover stuff during the day when I think there's going to be more updates coming out. So I'm going to do that. I haven't eaten. I'm going to eat. If there's some big emergency, I can always come back on the air, okay? So, but I'm going to start wrapping up this live stream. But subscribe, follow Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news here without an agenda, Agenda Free TV. I really do appreciate you being here for the stream and you watching, and also people chatting, sending me updates that you're hearing, letting me read your comments and questions and all that. So, again, if there's some huge thing that happens, I can always come back on the air. And I will post on my X account, which is @Lookner, @LOOKNER. You can follow me there for updates when we're not live. But yeah, I really need to eat something and rest, because I honestly haven't even eaten so much at all. But I fully anticipate having more coverage tomorrow. Yeah, I've been talking, I have mentioned, people are talking about the Queen shooting in the chat. I have posted about it on X. I've been talking about it on and off for 15 minutes. It looks around 10 or 11 people were reported shot in and around a nightclub in Queens. I have no evidence that this is a terrorism act or something. We don't cover ever shooting on this channel. It's terrible that this many people were shot. At this point, I'm going to assume it's some sort of non-terrorist type of thing. Who knows why it's happening at a nightclub? But I will keep an eye on it. I will keep an eye on it. I hope everybody's okay. And subscribe and follow the channel, and turn the notifications on. We have all we can come on at any time, and I can't tell you in advance when we're coming on the air, but you can get a notification whenever we go live. We have our own notification system set up. It works really well. We do through Discord, so sign up for our free notifications. And the mods will post the link to that in the chat. Also, you can find the link on our YouTube and Facebook, in the YouTube and Facebook descriptions for this broadcast. But sign up for the free notifications through Discord. I would recommend you doing that if you don't want to miss a stream. And also, huge thanks to our moderators who've been here all day. Been here since last night. We were doing a New Year's stream on my personal channel last night, and then we've been covering this all day. And it's been very busy in the chat. So I really, really appreciate all of our moderators for being there. We couldn't have the chat rooms without our moderators. Over there on YouTube, people like Misunderstood. Thanks so much for being there. And all of our other YouTube moderators who've been there today. Linda Belk and Larry on X, on Twitch. Good Luck Duck, I Got That Fire, Sarah and Surly Dev. Thank you. On Facebook, Kay Lowry Body, Charlotte Webb, Christina Neal, Paul Anderson, Margaret Riley, Ronald Egnor, all of our moderators there too. Thank you. Thanks also to, thanks for your support, Denise Horton, Occam Sledgehammer, our new member, Beautiful Messy Ball, You Huru, Proud of Your Boy, Jack, Derek Elkins, Ash P10 for subscribing on Twitch. Hello, howdy. I think I thanked everybody else. I really appreciate your support of the channel because that's what allows this channel to exist. So thank you so much for supporting the channel. Hopefully I thanked everybody. I think I did. Also, we do have a chat where you can chat with other viewers when we're not live on Discord. It's free. Check it out. A lot of our viewers like doing that. You can find that chat at the same link as the notifications link. So check out the chat. Thanks to our member, David Ferriello, by the way. And again, really appreciate people sending me updates and letting me read your comments and all that. Let's see here. Also, did I thank the Discord mods? Thank you to our Discord mods for all you do. I appreciate you. And I would suggest, if you watch on YouTube, I would suggest turning the YouTube notifications on, which can be helpful in finding out when we're live. But to turn the YouTube notifications on, what you need to do is if you subscribe on YouTube, you want to make sure you also click the notifications bell and then choose all notifications. So if you do subscribe on YouTube, make sure you have that bell clicked and you have all notifications chosen. Also, I post whenever we're going to go live. I post about it on Agenda Free TV on X. You can follow over there for scheduling updates, news about the channel at Agenda Free TV on X. I really appreciate our Facebook subscribers. Thanks for subscribing over there and supporting the channel. People like Eve Richards, Lou Green, Margaret Riley, Kay Lowry Body, Ronald Egnor, Robert Real II. All of our Facebook subscribers, thanks so much. Also, our Twitch subscribers, for example, Wall Street Shaggy, Binny Says, Device X, Haunted Wind, Hello Howdy, Ash P10, Integrity Farmer Bob, The Sugar-O, Aaron Weirdo, Jack's Animals, Night Owl, Tater Mong, Ascertainment, Massachusetts Guy, Fish Tacos, Jenny George 68. Did I say Tater Mong? Thanks again to all of our Twitch subscribers. Aaron Weirdo. And also our YouTube members. Thanks so much for being members over there on YouTube. CAC8313, Dr. McRib, Roger Shoemaker, Pickleball and Politics, Coggles, Patricia Grace, Kay Kremlin, Brianne, Stephen Reed, H. Parsons, Warrior Grandma, Evelyn in Maine, XX, Stephen Reed, Jean Romaine, did I say Northern Grace, Dr. McRib, Beautiful messy ball. Thanks for being members on YouTube. Fudge, Stephanie Brunk, Knox Corvus, WC, Jen's Crunchy Vax, IT Hips. Yeah, and we will do more coverage as news develops. Yeah, people keep mentioning it. Again, I have posted about it. I've talked about it in the air a bunch of times. I know there was a shooting in Queens. 11 people reportedly shot at a near nightclub. We don't cover every shooting. I have no evidence. While it's really bad that many people got shot, I have no evidence that say it's a terrorist-related shooting or something like that, or a random person just trying to kill as many people as possible. Not to say that that makes it good. It's still terrible, but we just don't cover every shooting here. There's so many shootings. I know it's a lot of people, but I will keep an eye on it. We're not going to do a stream on it right now, but that could change depending on what information comes out. I hope the people are okay who got shot. That's not good. Okay, I am going to wrap up this stream. I will keep an eye on the news. Thanks to everybody watching. I appreciate you tuning in. And as I said earlier, thanks to Phil in PA for watching, Captain Macabull, Joe Radicchio. Dennis Britt says, everything tonight was hard to digest. Rough. Yeah. A lot of bad news today. Terrible news. Dennis McNeely, thank you for watching. Tintin, Lori S. And thank you, Loki1988. I appreciate that, Loki1988. Lonnie Schultz, thank you for watching. Belinda Butcher. Rocket Bombs. And all of our other viewers. All right. I am going to... Sorry. Yeah, I'll post updates on my X account. If there's huge news, I'll come back on the air. All right, guys, we have been bringing you updates about the New Orleans truck attack and the Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas at the Trump Hotel. Thank you again to our mods. Thank you for watching. As I said earlier, certainly condolences to the families of the 15 people killed, and thoughts with those dozens of people injured in the truck attack in New Orleans, and also the people injured in the Cybertruck explosion. Okay, so that is it right now. We'll have more updates for you as things develop. That is it for now. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay, that is it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.